students, welcome to the next session of Strength of Materials 1. In the previous classes, we have covered the concept of pure bending theory. Later, we have calculated section modulus for different sections. Now, we are going into some numericals. Firstly, read the problem what they have given. Using the pure bending theory, we will analyze this problem. Okay? A square beam 20 mm by 20 mm in section. So, we are having a square beam of 20 mm by 20 mm in cross section and is of 2 meter length, which is simply supported at the ends. Okay, so this is the cross sectional view I have observed width and depth of the beam. When we see the side view, you can observe a beam which is being simply supported and with a depth of 20 mm, as we have already seen. Depth is also observed from the side view and the length of the beam is 2 meters. Okay, this is the condition. Okay, this is simply supported ends. Now the beam fails when a point load of 400 Newton is applied at the center. Okay, so what I need to do? We need to apply a center point load at the center of the beam. So for the convenience, I am writing in the down 2 meter length of the beam and a point load of 400 newtons is applied, and this 400 Newton application is causing failure to the beam. So as a simply supported beam of a cross section 20 mm by 20 mm and the beam of length 2 meters is being subjected to a point load of 400 newtons at the center of the beam. Due to this condition, the beam is getting failure. Failure is nothing but it is getting breakage or it is reaching to some breaking point. So, in case of this bending action, what we call it as a failure? So, it is reaching its maximum stresses in the fibers. Okay. So, due to the application of this load, it is causing some moment. That moment is causing some stress. That is the maximum limiting stress of the particular material. Okay. Now, what UDL per meter length will break a cantilever of same material 40 mm wide and 60 mm deep and of length 3 meters. So, firstly, we are having two cases. We will separate the next case like this, and the first condition is we are having a simply supported beam of length 2 meters being subjected to a point load of 400 newtons and the cross section of the beam is a square which is 20 mm by 20 mm. For such type of loading condition, I am having the fibers are getting failed. Okay, so from the pure bending theory, I can calculate using the maximum bending moment applied on the beam and moment of inertia of the cross section and length of the beam and the corresponding sigma and y. Sigma is indicating the bending stress in the fiber, y is indicating distance of the particular fiber from the neutral axis. So, I am using for the simply supported beam. As the first case, I am going for the simply supported beam condition. A simply supported beam with a point load at the center and having a length of 2 meters. So, we have observed W 400 newtons and a length of 2 meters. So, into 10 power of 3 divided by 4. As W is in newtons, length should be in millimeters and WL by 4 as the maximum bending moment for this type of simply supported beam with a point load at center. So, this maximum bending moment diagram's height is WL by 4. So, from the pure bending theory, we have said we should have to consider a section with zero shear force and pure bending only. But in practical condition, a complete section with zero shear force and a complete section with pure bending may not be occurring. So, the condition for using the pure bending theory is I am taking a point where the bending moment is maximum. Using that maximum bending moment, I can use the pure bending theory. Okay, using the maximum bending moment in the section, I can use pure bending theory. So, using that phenomena, I am using the pure bending theory. Okay, so this is my maximum bending moment occurring onto the section, and then moment of inertia of the section. As we have observed, a square beam of 20 mm by 20 mm, and for the squares the neutral axis or the centroidal axis is passing through the same line, that too at the center of the depth. So this dimensions b d cube by 12, so 20 into 20 cube by 12. So this is the moment of inertia of the section when it is simply supported, having the sectional dimensions as 20 mm by 20 mm. Now I am going for the calculation of the maximum stress occurring in the fiber. Just now only we have said we can use the pure bending theory. So M by I is equal to sigma by Y, right? So M is moment of resistance offered by the section, or this M I can replace as the maximum bending moment occurring onto the beam. Moment of resistance offered by the section is equal to maximum bending moment we are applying onto the beam. I is moment of inertia of the section about the neutral axis. Sigma is bending stress occurring, and Y is distance of the particular point where I am calculating the bending stress. Now I am going for the point. At any point I can see Y as like this, but when I am reaching to the extreme fiber I can say that as Y maximum. When the distance is becoming extreme, the stress also will become extreme. So Y becomes Y maximum, sigma will become sigma maximum, and this M I can indicate as the maximum bending moment on the section. So from this pure bending theory I am writing as M maximum, nothing but maximum bending moment I am applying onto the beam, and moment of inertia of the section. As I am having the second section in cantilever, I am indicating moment of inertia as I1, and sigma maximum is the moment of bending stress, that is the maximum bending stress occurring, and Y1 max, because for the section with 20 mm depth I am writing Y max. What is the Y max? As overall depth is 20 mm and the neutral axis is at the center, so Y max is equal to from the center to the extreme fiber, from the top or to the bottom. So this Y max for the first section is 10 mm. Okay, now I am substituting all the answers. How much we have got as Y? 2 lakh Newton millimeter M. By I we have got as 20 into 20 cube by 12 into Y1 is 10 mm. So this is the maximum stress occurring onto the fiber. What I have substituted? The maximum moment occurring onto the beam section, moment of inertia of the section about the neutral axis, and distance of the extreme fiber from the neutral axis. Involving all these things, I have calculated the maximum bending stress that the material can handle. So this is the answer for sigma max for the material. So a material ఎంత bending stress ని handle చేస్తుంది due to the application of this load is that sigma maximum. Okay, later the material is getting failed. So at the failure point we have observed the sigma max like this. Now I am going for a cantilever beam. Now going for the second part. See what they have mentioned. Okay, what UDL per meter length will break a cantilever of same material with 40 mm wide and 60 mm deep? If I am choosing a cantilever beam, in a side view you can observe the depth and length of the beam, and when we see the cross section you can see a width and depth of the beam. So we are having a cantilever like this, and it is being subjected to a UDL they have mentioned, right? length is equal to, how much is the length? We need to calculate how much, sorry, that they have given in the problem. We are having a beam of 3 meter long, cantilever beam of 3 meter long. Initial information is for the simply supported beam. Okay, such a type of material is used as a cantilever beam, and that cantilever beam should carry some UDL. Okay, so the material which I have used in the simply supported beam with a point load is used for the cantilever beam with UDL. Okay, so from the first condition I have calculated what is the maximum bending stress the material's fiber had. So using that maximum bending stress, I am going for the calculation of the how much load it can take in the form of UDL when I have made a cantilever beam. Okay, so 60 mm deep and 40 mm width. 40 width, 60 mm deep. When we see from the side view also, you can see 60 mm depth and 3 meter long. Okay, so this is the dimensions for the cantilever beam, and the cantilever beam is being subjected to a UDL W per unit meter or per meter run over the entire length of 3 meters. Now, for this cantilever beam, again the pure bending theory only will be helpful. Now, M2 means the maximum bending moment occurring onto the cantilever beam due to the application of the UDL, and I2, moment of inertia of the cantilever beam's section about the neutral axis of the centroidal axis. Sigma max is the maximum bending stress in the fiber material, and Y2 is distance of the extreme fiber from the neutral axis. Or you can write the corresponding Y2 max. Why I have given Y2 is because in the previous step we have got one more section. So there I have given as I1, Y1. Here I have given as I2 and Y2, the corresponding sections, moment of inertia and depth. Okay. This one, I is equal to B d cube divided by 12 is equal to 40 into 60 cube divided by 12. Okay. So that one is B d cube by 12. And for M2, what I can use? I can use sigma max formula or answer from the previous step. So in the previous step, we have got the answer of sigma max. What is the sigma max? That is the maximum bending stress occurring in the fiber when it is failing. The same material I am using in this condition. So the material will have the same bending stress nature. That is the nature value we have got in the previous step. So the same sigma max will be useful for here into I2. Just now we have got 40 into 60 cube by 12. And sigma, sorry, M2 is equal to sigma max into I2 divided by Y2, as that is a 60 mm depth and the Y2 will be 30 mm deep. So using all these conditions, this is in Newton per mm square, this was in mm, this is in mm per 4. In a overall, we have got M2 bending moment occurring, the maximum bending moment occurring onto the cantilever beam as 36 lakh or 3600,000 Newton millimeters. Okay, this was in Newton millimeters. If you want, you can convert it into kilonewtons or meters. Later also we can convert, because I don't need to calculate the max moment. I need to calculate there is a moment like this, and this moment is occurred due to some UDL. What is the quantity of the UDL? Okay, so for this cantilever beam with a UDL over entire length and length of the beam is like this, and the maximum bending moment formula for this condition is WL square by 2. So in this way we have got the answer. In the back steps I am getting the output. Okay, WL square by 2 is equal to M2 and W is my unknown, and the length of the beam we have got as 3 meters. So 3 into 10 cube by 2, and we have got 36 lakh Newton millimeter. 36,000,000 Newton millimeter. Okay, now W will be in Newton per millimeter, but they have asked us to calculate for meter, right? So 0.8 into Newton per meter, 10 power 3. So 800 newtons per meter, or you can write 0.8 kilonewton per meter. So this is the UDL which will cause the cantilever to break. So what all these things we have done? Simply remember what the condition they have given. We are having a simply supported beam with a point load at the center. For that condition, we need to calculate what is the bending stress occurred when the member is failing. Okay. So due to the applied load, we have calculated the maximum bending moment, and due to the applied load, so for such case, we have calculated the maximum bending moment, and also we have calculated the moment of inertia. Later, we have calculated the maximum bending stress occurring onto the section, because the same material having the same bending stress property is again used for the cantilever beam. So this maximum bending stress or bending allowing stress nature, this material is having the same nature. Now they are using for the next cantilever beam. So for the cantilever beam also we have used the same metal. So from the pure bending theory, we are having M by I2 is equal to sigma max by Y2 max, and M corresponding to this moment is load. Due to the load, there is some bending moment. Okay, that M we have not got, and I2 is from the sectional dimension, and sigma max is from the previous step, because the same material we have used here, not the dimensions, only the material we have used. That's why we have got the same bending stress maximum limit. And also Y2 max is the depth half of the whole depth, because it is being very symmetrical. A square or a rectangle or a circular or symmetrical eye sections, we can say in the overall depth, Y max will be half of the total depth. In case of circular also, in case of Y max is equal to half of the overall depth, or pure or a symmetrical eye section will have the same neutral axis location and half of the total depth. What a symmetrical eye section means? So when we cut in the horizontal way, the top and bottom should be symmetrical. When we observe the vertical, left and right should be symmetrical. That is the symmetrical eye section, which is being symmetrical in about any axis. About horizontal center line, about vertical center line, left image is mirror image like the right one, and for the down and top, those two will be mirror image like. That is the symmetrical eye section. Okay. So for such type of symmetrical eye section, rectangular or square or a circular, we are having the depth of the neutral axis is total depth by 2. So total depth of the section by 2, that Y2 is equal to 30 mm, because I have got the total depth as 60 mm. Substituting sigma max from the previous material's answer and I2 from the section's answer, Y2 from the total depth by 2, and we have got M2's answer as like this. And this M2, the maximum moment is occurring onto the cantilever beam. A cantilever beam with UDL over entire length, the maximum bending moment's formula is WL square by 2. That's why using the WL square by 2, we have got the intensity of the UDL that can be applied on the cantilever beam to reach the failure condition. So in this way, we have got the W or the intensity or the rate of loading onto the beam structure. Now we are going for the next problem. See here, an eye section as shown in the figure is simply supported over a span of 12 meters if the maximum permissible bending stress. Okay, so we are having a simply supported beam. When we see from the line, I am observing a single line diagram like this. Okay, a single line diagram I have indicated, and which is having a span of 12 meter. And if the maximum permissible bending stress is 18 Newton per mm square, what concentrated load can be carried at a distance of 4 meters from the support? So I need to calculate W. What they have given? They have given the sigma max as 80 Newton per mm square. Maximum bending stress limit they have given. Okay. Like previous condition. Similarly, what we should have done? Sigma max from the simply supported beam we have got, and that sigma max we have used for the cantilever beam, and from the cantilever's bending moment we have get the loading answer, right? From the sigma we are calculating M, okay, moment answer, and from M we are calculating the W answer, okay. So sigma will give the output of M from the pure bending theory. Again from M we are going into the calculation of load value from the basic fundamental loading conditions, okay. The first thing is, using this sigma max I need to calculate the maximum moment of the moment of resistance of the section. But here the section is not a rectangular or a square or a circular. Here the I section they have given, that is being very symmetrical about horizontal axis and about vertical axis. For such type of beams, the centroidal axis is at the center line, geometrical center line. Geometrical center line, that word is important for you. Geometrical center line means when we observe the total depth as D, and the geometrical center line will be at D by 2 from the two fibers, two extreme fibers. Okay, so geometrical center line, centroidal axis or neutral axis, they both are, all these things are getting coincided. Okay, so this is the neutral axis line and this is the I section they have given. As I section, you already know it will have a top flange, bottom flange and an intermediate vertical line, we call it as web. Okay, flange and a web. So top flange dimension is 100 mm of width and 11.5 mm thick, and a web is there of thick 7.5 mm, and depth of web is 225 minus 11.5 minus 11.5. Only when you want this dimension, 225 minus these two you should have to do. And for the bottom flange, 100 mm width and 11.5 mm. Because we have said that is symmetrical I section, so the top flange is as it is like the bottom flange, and also this web will have the center line. That center line is being coincided with the geometrical center line, and also that is the neutral axis. So the thing we need to use is pure bending theory. M by I is equal to sigma by Y. The theory's formula is not at all changing, but its usage is getting changed. Okay, so our intention is we are having answer as sigma max. Yes, the maximum stress limit of the metal I know. And Y, what is this Y? Y is distance of the extreme fiber from the neutral axis when I am using sigma as sigma max. If I am using sigma max answer, I need to use Y max answer. If I am using some other sigma, I can use some other Y. Okay, so I am using sigma max, the maximum permissible stress answer. So I am reaching to maximum stress, so I need to use Y maximum. And I need to know moment of inertia about the neutral axis. So the first thing is locating the neutral axis. As the section is being symmetrical, the neutral axis is the center line of the section. Okay, so I is equal to moment of inertia about the neutral axis, and the neutral axis is the center line of the section. When you observe here, this is the section we have got. Now, first thing, if it is unsymmetrical, I need to locate the centroidal line. Okay, but here my neutral axis or the centroidal axis is passing through the geometrical center line. So what do you mean by a geometrical center line? That is at half of the distance, 2.5 from top and from 2.5 from the bottom as well. So this is the depth of the neutral axis from the top, depth of the neutral axis from the bottom, that is overall depth by 2. Okay, now about this neutral axis I am calculating the moment of inertia of top flange. About this neutral axis I am calculating moment of inertia about the bottom flange and for the vertical web. Okay, and the top flange about this neutral axis 100 B D cube by 12 plus area 100 into 11.5. And what is the distance? What is the moment of inertia about any axis? Once the axis is like this and the member is like this, I need to write BD cube by 12, and then I need to write BD area into this corresponding y square. So how this y will be calculated? From the centroid of this position to the neutral axis line. From the centroid of the thing what I am considering. So I am considering the top flange only. So for the top flange, moment of inertia about its own centroid axis B D cube. B1 is axis lines parallel measurement. B D cube by 12 plus A area 100 into 11.5 into what is the y? Y is this measurement from the centroid of the flange I am considering. As we know, 112.5 is the total depth and 112.5, and this measurement I need to know. This measurement is equal to 11.5 by 2. So from this I can say 5.77 like. Okay. So 5.75. Now removing this measurement, this leftover measurement, the total measurement is 112.5 and the leftover measurement is 5.75. The remaining measurement I need to consider as A into y square. Okay, so 112.5 minus 5.75 whole square B D cube by 12 plus A into y square. This is the moment of inertia for the top flange only. Moment of inertia for the top flange only. And see here, the bottom flange is also as it is like that. B D cube by 12 plus A into y square. So this segment I can write twice because for the bottom top flange and for the bottom flange. And also that I need to add one more thing, that is the moment of inertia of the web portion. As the web portion is like this and having the neutral axis line like this, and the height of this web will be equal to, as we already know, this one is 225, that is 11.5 and 11.4, so 23. This one is 202. Okay, so as the total depth we have got as 225 and the top flange thickness is 11.5 and bottom flange thickness is 11.5. Now removing those two, so removing 23 from 225, we have got 202 as depth of web only. Only this vertical segment from this level to this level. Okay, only the depth of the web I am writing here. That depth of the web, and from the neutral axis, the extreme fibers distance is 101 millimeters and its thickness is 7.5 mm we have got. So for this segment, I need to use this moment of inertia as B lines parallel measurement as B. Axis lines parallel measurement is 7.5 mm into depth as 101 cube by 12. Okay. So for the top flange, as that is away from the centroidal axis, I have added A into y square. BD cube by 12 plus A into y square. Here also BD cube by 12 plus A into y square, because that y is measured as the segment is distance at a distance of y from the neutral axis. But here this line is passing or the member's centroidal axis. This member, web member's centroid is coinciding with the neutral axis. So there is no ay square term. Only directly moment of inertia about this vertical section is about the neutral axis. We have got as b d cube. Sorry, d1 is 202, right? So b d cube by 12. In this way, we have got the next term. So this one, the plus is like this part. So for the top flange, for the bottom flange, and for the web, in overall, we have got the moment of inertia as 31.38 into 10 power of 6 mm per 4. See here, from the first step itself, I am substituting everything in millimeters only. So finally, as I have got moment of inertia as mm per force. Okay, only calculation moment of inertia over now. Now I am going for the calculation of m as m by I sigma max by y max. Okay, so I for the section we have calculated sigma max from the problem they have given, and y max is calculated from the section's overall depth. Okay. From this problem, I can say capital M, the maximum moment that is generated is equal to sigma max. How much they have given in the problem? 80 Newton per mm square. By y max, what is the overall depth? 225. So y max is distance of the extreme fiber from the neutral axis, that is 112.5 mm. 112.5 mm. And this I, when you shift there, that the moment of inertia we have got 31.38 into 10 power of 6 mm per 4. 31.38 into 10 power of 6 mm per 4. Okay, so involving all these three answers, we will get moment in Newton millimeters. That is from the pure bending theory condition. Okay, now this pure bending theory condition's maximum moment should be equated to the moment, the maximum moment generated onto the beam due to the application of a point load at a distance of 4 meters from the right support. So, for this condition, a simply supported beam with a point load at a distance of 4 meters from the right support, there is a moment, there is a maximum bending moment. That maximum bending moment is equal to the pure moment or the moment of resistance offered by the section. So, this maximum moment occurring onto the section due to this beam, what is the maximum bending moment occurring onto the section? That is equal to the maximum Bm we are observing from the pure bending theory, because here I am using maximum moments only. So, this answer of maximum moment is equal to the answer of maximum moment occurring due to W point load at a distance of 4 meters. Okay, when a beam with A is equal to 8 meters and B is equal to 4 meters and a point load of capital W is acting at a distance A from left support or B from right support, what we can say? What is the maximum bending moment formula? that one is equal to WAV by L, that is equal to M maximum. So the maximum bending moment M max is equal to WAV by L, and M max, which we have calculated from the previous step using sigma max by Y max into I, that is the maximum moment we have got. And from W, A 8 meters and B 4 meters and L as 12 meters. So substituting all these answers, sigma max they have given, Y max we have substituted, moment of inertia of the I section we have calculated. Involving all these things, I have got the right hand side portion from the previous step. Now using the condition like this, so the moment of resistance offered by the section is equal to the maximum bending moment applied onto the beam. So from this condition we have got W. Okay, this is the W's answer. Either you can remember WAV by L, or you can simply go with a basic condition, summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. RA plus RB is equal to W, and summation of all the moments as RB into 12 is equal to W into 8. In this way RB is equal to 2W by 3, and the corresponding RA is equal to W by 3. So individually we have calculated simply supported beam, support reactions, and we have got the answers. Then we can say bending moment at the point, bending moment at the point load is equal to RA into 8, as that is equal to W by 3 into 8. We have got 8W by 3 kilonewton meter. Okay. Or from the previous step we have given, right, from the maximum bending moment formula, if you remember, WAV by L, W into 8 into 4 divided by 12 meter length. In this way we can calculate 8W by 3 kilonewton meter. Okay. As 8W by 3 kilonewton meter is like this, or you can say 8W by 3 into 10 power of 6 Newton meters. Okay. Newton millimeters. And equating all those things from the M max is equal to what we have got, WAV by L, that is equal to 8W by 3, and we have already got sigma max by Y max times I. So using these two answers I have evaluated W answer from this step. Okay, that value is equal to 8.37 kilonewtons. Okay, in the next class we will go into the next concept. Till now we have given symmetrical sections like a square, a rectangle, or an symmetrical I section. We have calculated the bending stress. Using the pure bending theory concept, I am calculating either M or sigma max. Again, that M or sigma max I am using in the next step, like what is the original maximum bending moment and what is the maximum moment we are getting. Okay, so in this way we are completing M by I is equal to sigma by Y. If I am making sigma max, and which is equal to Y max, and this M by I will be helpful for you. From this we can evaluate what is the maximum bending moment or the moment of resistance offered by the section, and this maximum bending moment will be equal to maximum BM that is occurring onto the section, maximum bending moment that is occurring onto the section. Okay, thank you. In the next class we will go into calculation of bending stresses in the unsymmetrical sections. Thank you.